like he was home long enough to get somebody that riled her.
Yes, he was.
Of course, it was over you.
What you said, I know something about that.
We're gonna take a ride downtown. Let you talk to the grand jury. If you're not straight with them, they'll slap you with a material witness warrant. And you sit over at women's detention for a couple of weeks. Get your things.
I ain't going no damn well.
It's me or the wagon.
She's too weak. She's too weak to protect her kids, and that's not new.
I ain't in this. It's the boy. He know. He running with them who did it.
I'm gonna give you.
Oh, you gotta believe me. He told me Duvall wasn't coming home before we even know he was dead.
You said he's running with him. Running with who?
Chris, Snoop, all them gangsters. Who else doing all the killing around here?
Yes, you can add that one to your list.
It's not what Marlo's saying. It's what he's sending. Look at Marlo. Text message. Besides, look how far away he's holding this phone. Too far away to be reading the text. No, it's not.
Pictures. He's gonna stay there 10 minutes and he's gonna say that he stayed there an entire night. They're right to mock you. And yes, you're just gonna give that. Wow. You all know that it's him. You're all afraid of him. He's all by himself. He's hurt as hell. And he's doing it. Because he's clever, he has the right information. He can cause so many trouble all by himself.
About me hurting his people, messing with his world. Tell that boy he ain't mad enough to come down to the street with Omar.
I love him so much. You're making me proud. You can't disguise it, you know, as one of your fake murders.
Photographs on cell phones. Now, that needs a new PC to capture the photos and new equipment that can do it.
How do I write that into my bullshit homeless killer's MO?
When we started this,
I'm wondering.
You said all we needed were some bugs, a camera or two, and in a couple of weeks we'd have it. That's what you said. So I cranked up my bullshit to pay for that. No, and you needed it.
You're mad that he lied?
Then you asked the surveillance team, what the fuck?
Someone lied to you.
I don't want to hurt your feelings. I can see why Daniel's cringe every time you open your fucking mouth. You're a supervisor's nightmare.
I'm just following the thread.
Le culot! Like really, you have the nerves to say something like that to Lester?
Okay, say we get you the intercept on your pictures. Will that give us Marlo?
It'll be coded, probably. I'm sure we can break it. That'll tell us how they do business, and usually that's enough. Or not.
Nah.
Last night, half the police department turned up at Oscar's crime scene before I could get there.
Because of who?
We can't make another murder.
Oh. I'm so sorry for you.
Thanks for the milk. Anyway, we finished our sweep. Headed back in, right? It was all good. Then bam. Our lead vehicle was hit with an elevated IED. Driver lost both his hands, blood shooting out all over. He's fucking laughing. Said over and over, look, Mom, no hands. It's the laughing I can't shake.
I'm sorry, my dear. That poor guy is homeless and no one cares about him.
story you wrote a couple weeks ago? One about the woman who died from an allergic reaction to seafood. Neighborhood lady knows dead, and my sister says our story made a lot of money for those kids. Scholarship fund to go back. She says the sister has a history of fraud. Convictions on it.
I asked him if he wanted $100 to go someplace for dinner and talk, and he walked to my car.
You give him 100.
Stuffed it in his jacket.
Think he can find his way back home.
Eventually. By then, we'll be done with Marlo. We'll shut this thing down. As far as what happened to this guy,
So you were Carlos.
no.
You're gonna use an homeless guy who is desperate and who is weak for your bullshit?
I took his ID. I'll scratch his name off the script. Leave him with this. Got that one from the first homeless death that Oscar gave us.
You're taking his identity? Like,
Cleveland, Ohio shelter. We sent photos of this guy, all ribboned up from a dry cell phone. That goofy reporter, along with a message bitching about his stories. Now, the killer says you ain't gonna find no more bodies, only photos of the victims.
Before they disappear.
Bad shit.
how can you think of that? How can you think of doing it truly?
Marlo falls hard.
You're using that poor guy for your bullshit. And he's proud of himself! I know, I said that I would shut the fuck up during this episode, I can't.
I want comparisons between known suspects and the DNA from this scene. It looks like we got a whole lot of DNA out of this mess. Now, motherfucker, right now!
Up on my list. As soon as we work through all the trace from the homeless killings. It's the priority, Bunk.
The homeless killing.
Everything is backed up behind that. Sorry. Your boy McNulty has everyone's attention right now.
So it's Larry, huh? Okay, Larry, you're good people, and it's all really great. Best of all, I give you cash money just for walking in the door. Come on, Larry. It's gonna be fine, I promise.
Oh, it made me so sad. He looked sad.
Since you tried a criminal
You're using him like this. You're taking him to a community shelter. Great.
Outside where I work, I was confused, lost, I think.
Donald, do you have identification?
Does that say Cleveland?
I don't want to react to that again. I don't want to.
Hey, Scotty boy. Hey, great piece. I mean, this one really feels like the real deal. Right?
Because this one is real.
What I like most about it is that you didn't overwrite it. No extra color, no puffy adjectives, just tight declarative sentences. And you really let this ex-Marine just tell the story.
You're not masturbating yourself with your words, like all of the bad journalists are doing.
She uses her sister's name every time she gets locked up. She's done it like 3 or 4 times now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, but her sister's clean. Everyone says so.
You never checked. You know. Why are you staying? You have second thoughts about all of that?
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, we've got it. But thanks for bringing them in. Most people, they just ignore them.
Tell me you're not feeling okay. I need that to not hate you. Come on, McNulty. And this episode is ending with that. You want my death. At the end, you know, we can see that he's sorry for that guy. He's sad for him. But at the same time, the fact that he's leaving the place and, you know, he's going into his car like that, it's also to say that he's not gonna give up, and for him the end justifies the means, and for him, because he's doing all of that to do something great, it's okay, you know, it's justifying it, he can do it. You know, yes, he used that guy, he lied about him, he stole his identity. That really, he stole his identity. But it's okay, because in fact he put him into a shelter and he's making sure that people are gonna take care of him. So it's okay to lie and to use a guy and to take advantage of the fact that he's weak, desperate and sad. It's okay, because McNulty did something good, like something nice. And because of that, something even better is gonna happen. So it's okay, you know. Like, yes, I'm being like that, you know, sarcastic and all on purpose, because I want to prevent some comments that maybe I'm gonna have, because, you know, for some other shows or animes and stuff like that, sometimes people were doing bad stuff, I mean characters were doing bad stuff, and I was against it, and on the comments I had some viewers telling me, oh, that's okay for him to lie about that, you know, because of that, like, he can do something so great, like, he can resolve the entire situation, so what about a little lie, what about a little bad thing, you know, like, if it can be used to do something great and better and bigger. No. That's not how I'm functioning, that's not how I'm thinking, that's not how I'm dealing with moral stuff, you know, into my personal life. So even, you know, with a show, with a movie, with a story, I'm not gonna be okay with characters dealing with stuff like that, because at the end of things, you can justify everything, you know, if you're going with that. If you're saying that it's okay to do something bad because you want to do something great with it, and it's bad but not that bad, you know, like, you're balancing it like that. Okay, I'm doing something bad but I'm doing something great, so it's a balance. No, like, it's not because you saved a person that it's okay to kill a person. Do you understand what I mean? Like, oh, there is no balance with that kind of stuff. So right now, it's not because he took that guy to a shelter that it's okay to use him to take advantage of the fact that he's weak and to steal his identity. No, it's not okay. And you know, the fact that he's doing all of that because of the picture situation, to have something more, you know, to have more people and more resources to work on Marlo's case. But in fact, you know, officially on his serial killer case, like, lies after lies after lies, bullshits after bullshits. And you know what is making me even more mad with all of that is the fact that McNulty is satisfied by it, you know, he's proud of himself, like how he's reacting now when Bunk is telling him that he's doing something bad. Before, at least, he was not opening his mouth that much, and now he just doesn't care about it because he had what he wanted, that's it. He has the attention of everyone, he had the front page, he has the mayor, everyone talking about his fake case, so he's proud of himself. That, it's making me even more mad, and that's why at the end, you know, I didn't know that I would say that and that I thought that, but I needed him to show some regrets, or at least to show that he's not fully okay, fully satisfied with himself, to not hate him, because I'm saying it since he began that lie. I'm not respecting him anymore, but I still love his character for sure. Like, we spent all of these 5 seasons with him, for sure I love his character. But him being so proud of his lies, of being like that, acting like that, hurting people by acting like that, I was not just disappointed, I was not just not respecting him anymore, like, I was beginning to dislike him, to hate him a little. So that's why I needed him to show a little that he's not okay with what he's doing, and that's what we had a little at the end. So I'm a little glad, in fact, that he's not so okay with everything that he's doing. He's feeling a little bad about it. It shows, you know, that he still has a conscience. There is still something inside, like, come on. Bunk is working on that case properly, you know. The 22 bodies, the 25 bodies, because Kima, she managed to prove that Chris, Snoop, Michael, they did it. That's cool. And now 26, because Bunk managed also to know that Buck's dad was killed by Chris and Snoop. So 26 bodies to put on these guys. Michael's mom, you know, I said it was not a surprise for her to give her son like that, because she never protected her kids. She let her kids with Buck's dad. I'm not gonna talk again about all of that, but you know what I think about it. So that was not a surprise. But she's too weak, you know, to really testify against Marlo and his guys in front of a jury, and also Bunk, he can't use her. But he knows now that he has 26 bodies to put on this team, and he's gonna try to really put that one, you know, Buck's dad, on Chris, on Marlo's team, and maybe he can do it because maybe they still have these evidences, you know, on that case, because the fact that they mixed all of the evidences that they had for the 22 bodies, you know, all of these crime scenes. You know, this show is really showing all of the right stuff and the bad stuff which are happening in reality, you know, in that kind of things. I mean, yes, we have bad cops who are doing bad stuff, who are lying, who are manipulating information and all. And we have also bad people who are doing their jobs badly, like evidences who are lost and stuff like that, because people are not doing their jobs right. And we have also investigators like Bunk and Kima who are trying their best, who are following one track, you know, who are really trying to do things right, and they are making me proud, these two. About the journalist. I said what I said. I hate him. He's inventing stories. Little ones, like big ones, no matter what, it's not okay. Right there, the fact that he tried to spend the night with homeless people, really, I didn't believe that he would try it. At least he tried a little. At least he truly interviewed someone and made a real paper with it. And they all recognized that it was his best paper, because for once he was not writing for himself. He was writing really for that guy. And that's the difference, you know, for me between a good journalist and a bad journalist. You're not there, you know, to write for yourself. You're there to write for someone who is telling you a story, and for people who are reading it to understand it. That's the real job of a journalist. And really, during that moment, I was a little proud of him, but really just after that, the fact that he lied maybe about that other story, the fact that he didn't check really on this story, I'm like, that guy is an asshole. And the fact that for now he's not being discovered, and for now people are admiring him, you know, he's on national television, and he's saying all of this bullshit about the fact that being a journalist, it's that, you know, it's being that brave, like, they are the worst. These journalists, you know, who are masturbating themselves with their own words, these journalists who are talking about this job, you know, like that, acting, you know, like they are heroes, they are soldiers, they are, you know, people who are saving lives. No, you're a journalist. You're not the hero. That's the true thing, you know, about being a journalist. You're not the hero of any story and all. You're just passing the message. You're just there to translate a message. You're never the hero, you know, when you're a journalist. So no, it's not because right there, for once, he wrote a real story on a real guy that I'm gonna upload and I'm gonna forget all of what he did and I'm gonna be truly proud of him. No, not at all. Marlo taking the place of Proposition Joe, it's not a surprise. I'm glad that not everyone, believes that Omar killed Proposition Joe. Omar, the fact that he managed to escape, it was a miracle. The fact that during that moment, he managed to have a gun when really he had nothing, it's a miracle. The fact that he attacked these guys, he managed to burn that car, to spread that message, to threaten Marlo, is all by himself. He doesn't have any resource, but he's that clever and people are respecting him so much, are afraid of him, and he's that good that he's doing it all by himself, without any resources. He's doing it! I love Omar so much. But again, I'm so afraid of him being in front of my car. We had news about Randy. I never thought that we would truly have news about Randy. Like, you saw it in the beginning of this season. I think that I didn't spend any episode without asking news about Randy. But I thought that we would have some through maybe cover or something like that, talking about it. I never thought that we would have truly a scene with him, and maybe more than that, maybe it's gonna come back. No matter what, we saw him. He's alive. He's not hurt and bullied anymore. He didn't talk with Bunk, but in fact I prefer that because it means that he's not gonna be seen as a snitch anymore. And right there, for sure, how he acted with this kid at the end, it's proving that maybe he took the place of the bully. But between being bullied for being a snitch and bullying a little other people, but not that much, like, I don't think that Randy is bullying people like he was bullied. Like, I was truly afraid of him being killed when we left him, so I'm just glad to see that he's alive and he's doing well. For sure he's not doing well, but he's doing well, according to the situation right there, it's not that bad, at least. I was so glad to see him. So glad. I'm not sure that I truly succeeded, to not get too mad during this episode, to not insult people on screen, to not, jump each time that they are saying a lie, and I'm not okay with it. But at the same time, you saw it, I was fighting to not react to their lies because it wouldn't have been really interesting to have me just repeating at each scene, "Fuck you!" It's a lie, I hate you for it. Like, really, I could have said so, I think, at each scene again. 2 episodes now that they are putting me into that mood and that I'm just mad. And I'm a little worried, about the fact that all of what is happening, it's making me feel like that, because I know that some fans of shows can be truly hardcore fans and sometimes can act also a little blind and can forgive everything that their characters are doing just because of the fact that they are hardcore fans. I'm a huge fan of The Wire. You saw me falling in love with this show, with these characters, but for each show, each anime that I watched and loved into my life, I think that I never was a blind fan and I never acted blind, when one of the characters that I love, is doing something wrong. I'm gonna say that it's wrong, I'm gonna be there, to push this character, to change the situation, to not do that anymore and all, because I love this character, so I want the best for him, her, them, but I'm never gonna act blind about stuff. But the fact that I'm binge watching a show which is over, since a long time, I know that people who are watching my binge watching, they might be hardcore fans, so maybe they're not gonna accept for me to talk like that about their characters. Do you understand what I mean? So I hope that you're not mad at me because I'm mad that much at McNulty. I hope that you can understand my reasons, and I hope that you can be not blind about this character enough, and I hope that you're not that blind about his character and his actions. I hope so. If not, you're gonna hate these 2 reaction videos that I just made. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this review right now. It's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Great.